Account takeover fraud has the FBI warning about cybersecurity crooks using AI to impersonate bank employees, and they're trying to steal your money.
Research from the AARP Public Policy Institute has consistently shown that older adults report fraud at lower rates than younger people. This is not because it happens less, but because they tend to be better at recognizing when something feels off. If you are over the age of 55, this video matters for you. You are the target. Banks know it. Scammers know it. And the particular tactic we are about to walk through is designed with one specific goal: to sound completely routine to someone with experience. You know that feeling when your phone rings and it is a number you do not recognize? You have learned over the years to be cautious. Maybe you let it go to voicemail, but then it rings again. And this time, when you answer, the voice on the other end is calm, professional, measured. It does not sound like a robot. It does not sound nervous. It says your first name. It says the name of your bank. And then it says something that makes your stomach drop, that there has been unusual activity on your account, and they are calling to protect you. That feeling you get right there, that mix of concern and relief that someone is already on top of it, is not an accident. It is a design. Every word of that opening sentence has been chosen deliberately. The name of your bank. The word protect. The implication that without this call, something bad was already in motion. And by the time this video is over, you will hear that sentence completely differently. You will hear it as the first move in a game. And you will know how to win. What you just experienced in that call has a name. It is called vishing, voice phishing. That is the official term used by the FBI and the Federal Trade Commission. But vishing alone does not explain why this particular version of it works so well on careful, experienced people. The real mechanism underneath it is something called the trust transfer. You already trust your bank. You have trusted them for years, maybe decades. You know their name. You have called their number. You have walked into their branch. You have spoken to their staff. That trust lives in you like a file in a cabinet, ready to open the moment you hear the right words. The trust transfer is what happens when a scammer uses your bank's name, your name, and the language of banking to pull that file open and borrow the trust you built with someone else entirely. They did not earn it. They do not deserve it. But in the space of 30 seconds, they are spending it. Think of it this way. Imagine you have been going to the same locksmith for 20 years. You trust him completely. Now imagine someone knocks on your door wearing his uniform, driving a van with his logo, and using his vocabulary. You would probably let them in. It's not because you are careless, because every signal you were trained to recognize says it is him. The scammer did not earn your trust. They borrowed it. That is the trust transfer. And the reason it is so dangerous is that it does not exploit a weakness in you. It exploits a strength, your ability to recognize patterns you have seen 100 times before. According to the FTC's 2023 Consumer Sentinel Network report, impersonation scams, which include bank impersonation, were the #1 fraud category reported that year. Not because people are becoming less careful. Because the technique has become more sophisticated. The calls sound more real. The details are more accurate. The uniform fits better than it ever has. You probably assumed, up to this point, that the danger is someone tricking you into sending money. That is the obvious threat. And yes, that does happen. But the more common outcome, and the one that does far more damage over time, is not about one transaction at all. It is about access. Quiet, invisible, ongoing access to everything your account connects to. Before the call, your bank account was protected by something the scammer did not have. Your account number, your PIN, your security questions, your online banking password. Those things sit behind a wall. The scammer, for all their preparation, is standing outside it. They know your name. They know your bank, but they cannot get in without you. After the call, after just a few minutes of what felt like a routine fraud alert, they are standing inside. The caller says they need to verify your identity to protect your account. Standard procedure, they say. They tell you a verification code is being sent to your phone right now to confirm it is really you. You receive a text. The code arrives. It looks official. It has your bank's name in it. They ask you to read it back. You do. What happened is that they used your phone number to trigger a real password reset on your bank account. The code they asked you to read back was not their verification of you. It was your bank's verification of them. You just handed them the key. This is not a hypothetical. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center documented this specific technique, known as OTP fraud, or one-time passcode fraud, in its 2022 and 2023 annual reports as one of the most commonly reported account takeover methods. The moment you read that code aloud, the game changes entirely. Not just for that account, for everything connected to it. Most people, when they imagine being scammed, imagine losing money in that moment. One bad transfer, one drained account, and then it is over. That is not how this works. Once a scammer has access to your online banking, the first thing they do is not take everything. That would trigger an immediate alert and freeze the account. Instead, they look. They map your accounts. They see what is connected to what. They note the balance. They look at your transaction history to understand your normal patterns. They identify which account has the least activity, the one where a small, quiet withdrawal would go unnoticed for weeks. Then they begin what fraud investigators call the low and slow approach. Small withdrawals. Transfers to accounts that look like bill payments. The kind of activity that appears on your statement every month and that your eye slides right past because it looks familiar. By the time the total loss becomes visible, it is rarely a single large number. It is dozens of small ones that add up to something devastating. If you have a parent, a neighbor, or anyone in your life who picks up calls from unknown numbers, keep this in mind. This damage can go on for weeks before it surfaces. And by the time it does, the trail has gone cold. But the financial loss is only the first layer. Your account credentials, once obtained, have their own market value entirely separate from whatever money was taken. According to research by NordVPN, which analyzed nearly 6 million stolen payment card listings on dark web marketplaces, the average price of stolen American financial data was under $7, cheap enough that it is purchased in bulk and tested across dozens of banks simultaneously. Your information does not stay with one person. It gets sold, resold, and whoever buys it now knows your name, your bank, your email address, and your security patterns. That is identity profiling, and it is the foundation of every piece of fraud that follows: the credit card opened in your name 6 months from now, the utility account, the loan application you never made, one phone call, one code read aloud, a very long tail. You now know how the trust transfer works. You know what they are doing when they call. You know what that code is for. And that means you can already see it coming in a way you could not 20 minutes ago. Now, let's turn that into a habit with something you can use immediately. The defense is called the dead drop. The dead drop has 3 steps. Every one of them is something you can act on right now, before another call ever comes. Step 1, hang up. Always. It does not matter how real they sound. It does not matter that they knew your name, your bank, and the last 4 digits of your account. That information is easier to obtain than you think, and it costs a scammer almost nothing to have it before they dial. Your real bank does not need you to stay on the line to protect your account. If the situation were genuine, it would still be genuine in 2 minutes. Hang up. Step 2, call back on a number you found yourself. Not a number the caller gives you. Not a number in a text they sent you. Not a number that appears on your screen while they are still talking. Turn over your debit card and call the number printed on the back. Go to your bank's official website, the one you navigate to yourself, by typing it in, and call the number listed there. That is the only phone call that counts. That is the only version of your bank you are speaking to. Step 3. Never read a code aloud to anyone. Ever. Your bank will never ask you to do this. No legitimate institution will ever ask you to do this. The moment a code arrives on your phone while someone is on the line with you, that is not a coincidence. That is the mechanism activating. Think back to the locksmith. If someone in his uniform asks you to hand them the key, that is precisely the moment to close the door. The code is the key. Keep it. The dead drop breaks the trust transfer at its hinge. Hang up. Call back yourself. Never read the code. You came into this video knowing what most careful people know, that scammers exist, that you should be cautious, that something can feel wrong even when you cannot name it. You leave with something more specific than that. You leave with a name for the mechanism, a name for the defense, and 3 steps you can execute the next time that calm, professional, unhurried voice says your name and your bank's name in the same sentence. You now know that the most convincing bank call you will ever receive will not feel like a scam. It will feel like your bank doing what a good bank should do. It is designed to feel that way. And you now know the one thing that breaks the entire system. Hang up. Call back yourself. Never read the code aloud. The scammer's entire operation depends on you staying on that original call. The moment you hang up, the trust transfer collapses. They borrowed a uniform. You just looked behind it. You have spent a lifetime building good instincts about people and money. This is not a warning that those instincts have failed you. This is an update, a patch for a threat that did not exist in its current form until recently. And now that you have it, you are not just protected. You are the person in the room who understands how this works. If there is someone in your life who would benefit from knowing this, a friend, a sibling, someone who still answers every call because they were raised to be polite, pass this along as a gift. That is all this is.